back of the fact that that's gallons, 5,000 gallons, okay? Now what we're going to do, another way of saying it is these are 60% complete with respect to conversion costs. See, we got that 60% there? And then we've got to do something with all materials. What's that mean? Anybody have an idea, notion? You probably, in theory, most of you encountered this in your Principles of Managerial Accounting class. Certainly those of you who had me encountered it in your Principles of Managerial Accounting class. Taylor? That's twice in a row I've asked a question.
I was reading.
Were you? Yeah. What were you reading?
The rest of the bullets.
And so that all materials, what am I going to write on the board for that all materials for the first bullet? What do you do when we've talked about making cookies in here before, right?
Yes.
When you're making cookies, what's the first thing you do? Gather all the ingredients, right? You got to put all the ingredients in a bowl before you can do anything else, right? So how complete, what?
Is it preheat the oven?
You do that before you?
Yeah.
So it's
I walk
ready.
into the kitchen and preheat the oven.
No, I wouldn't see. But, and so, but before you can get started doing anything, you have to have all the ingredients assembled and then start mixing them together, right? So how complete is that batch of cookies with respect to the ingredients? 100%. And that's what that phrase, all materials, is talking about, okay? That's what that phrase, all materials, is talking about. So all materials are there, 100%. Okay, beginning work in process includes $5,050 in materials and $3,270 of conversion costs. What do you think of that, Mr. King?
I think it's good.
Thank you. So where does it go?
Of what? 5,000 gallons?
Oh,
Direct materials, 100%. What are you asking me for?
the second bullet.
Oh, that's not what you said.
I think it's what I read.
$50 and work in process dollars.
And what's the other one as well?
It's $3,270 of conversion costs.
Okay. And so we're going to keep those in here separately. We've got direct materials, conversion costs, and this is beginning inventory. Okay, we got beginning inventory, direct materials, and conversion costs. Perfect. See, that was pretty easy. Angie, the third bullet. Gallons started in October of 40,000.
That would go as your in for work in process.
Which one?
Units.
Yes. Sadie, next bullet, material costs in October are $44,000.
So put the $44,000 in the work in process.
Which one? Dollars or units?
Dollars.
Okay. And where? Is it
On the debit side.
on the debit side, above or below the line there?
I'm going to say about.
But you don't know? How can I help you know?
Let's see.
When did these material costs happen?
October.
In October, and this is all October information. So that's actually what happened during the month. And so ooh, that's the wrong number, but where did you put it in your notes? I see you writing it down.
Well, no, I was writing down a previous. You caught me off guard. I didn't write it before.
And so,
But if I was to write it down, I would put it
right there,
right where you put it. Yeah.
I would. I think that's what I would do too. Right? Dr. Fessel, I don't know why, but I'm going to put it right there. Which is not necessarily what she's thinking. Catherine, conversion costs. October are $48,600.
Based on what you've got on the board, I put it right below
Yeah, I've kind of clued it up, haven't I?
Which I'm glad about, because I had it in the wrong place originally.
Okay. There. Ending work in process consists of 10,000 gallons, all materials, and 40% of conversion. TJ's gone. Matthew, that means you're on. TJ's gone, so Matthew's on. Ba-doom-tsh. It rhymes.
Work in process units.
Ye- Okay. Which side? Left. Which also has a fancy accounting name.
Credit or debit. No,
One of the two.
credit. Debit.
One of the two. Debit. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's just, and it's always harder when you, Victoria, what about those other two pieces of information on that line?
That's all of your direct materials.
And so what's that become or do? What do we do with that? We've done it once already today.
100% under direct materials,
Yes. See how easy that was?
and then 40% under original.
Yes. Beautiful. Now, is there anything else we can fill in here, Mr. Newland?
Probably, but I don't know. I don't have it written down. I was up to that last step.
Well, you can look on the board. Do you see any holes that you can quite obviously and quickly fill in?
Is it going to be direct materials on the credit side of work process units? You have in. I'm not quite sure where in comes from for direct materials. If it's going to come out of the units or not.
But can we balance that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Stock and shoot.
Yes, sock and shoot. That's what yes. And so what is it? Has anybody done it already?
35,000.
35,000. So that's what we can do. You asked the question, Michael, you don't know where this came from? Is that one of your sources of confusion?
I wasn't quite sure where you wrote the word in on the dollar side.
Oh, I can write it over here as well.
Okay.
Beginning inventory plus in equals ending inventory plus out. I do it on the dollar side just because we have multiple numbers, and so I like to think it's a little helpful for students to have it organized, just some of the labels put on there. That's the only reason. Is that better?
Yep, thanks.
You're welcome. Now, what we're trying to do, and the purpose of this problem, that's horrible, is to calculate those two numbers using this information. Okay, we're trying to calculate those two numbers using this information. So that's what we're off. That's what we're off to do. First thing we're going to do is calculate EU. And what's EU stand for, Stephanie? Equivalent units, or the European Union. Is that what you were about to say? So we've got to, and the reason that this distinction between direct materials and conversion costs is so important is because we are going to calculate it for those separately. So direct materials and conversion costs, we're going to calculate those separately. Okay. And so the first, what's the first required? Number one asks us to do what, Ms. Cornelius?
Calculate the value of goods transferred out and ending inventory using the weighted average.
Weighted average method. So I was fishing for the word at the very end of that. So what we're going to do first is the weighted average method. So maybe I should label this, you know,